Government's efforts to mitigate rising commodity prices highlighted by Dr. Bharrat Jagdeo. The General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, PPP, Dr. Bharrat Jagdeo, has reiterated the government's comprehensive measures aimed at cushioning the impact of rising commodity prices across Guyana. This response comes in light of what Dr. Jagdeo described as the opposition's distortion of statements made by President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali regarding the issue. Addressing concerns, Dr. Jagdeo acknowledged that while Guyana has experienced some price increases, much of this is due to imported inflation stemming from the global COVID-19 pandemic and other international economic challenges. He emphasized that the government has actively tackled these issues through various interventions. We've made it clear that we have seen some price increases in Guyana, and we have been trying to tackle it. A lot came because of imported inflation due to what's happened during the COVID period and even now. Other countries have fared worse in addressing these issues, Dr. Jagdeo stated. One of the key strategies mentioned was the government's decision to use a lower-cost insurance rate, CIF, value to calculate taxes, effectively reducing the tax burden on imported goods. Additionally, the government has implemented measures to address rising food prices and inflation, including maintaining constant prices for essential commodities and services. Despite global changes in prices, despite COVID, because of direct government policies, we have seen lower mortgage rates, constant electricity prices, constant prices for fuel and transport, reduced water rates, and lower bandwidth costs. Every one of those items goes into the cost of living, not just food prices, Dr. Jagdeo explained. He highlighted the government's commitment to reducing the cost of fuel, noting that the administration has foregone over $80 billion in taxes by removing 50% of the excise tax on fuel, diesel, and gasoline. This subsidy, amounting to $500 per gallon, has kept transportation and production costs stable, benefiting all Guyanese. In addition to fuel subsidies, the government has provided $66 to $70 million USD to the Guyana Power and Light, GPL, to keep electricity rates constant. Without this intervention, electricity bills would have increased by 30% due to higher fuel prices. Dr. Jagdeo also pointed out that since taking office, the government has reduced water rates by 5% and has invested heavily in capital projects, including the construction of 13 new water treatment plants that will benefit nearly 250,000 Guyanese. The liberalization of the telecommunications sector was another significant achievement, leading to increased data allocation for the same cost, thanks to government action. Mortgage rates have also decreased due to incentives provided to commercial banks, further easing the financial burden on Guyanese households. Dr. Jagdeo emphasized that the government's ongoing support for small businesses and the expansion of the part-time job program are part of its broader strategy to improve the standard of living for all citizens. The government remains firmly dedicated to continuously improving the standard of living of all Guyanese, as demonstrated by the constant execution of Guyana's transformative agenda, he concluded.